divine spirit, we have the demonic spirit. We have the what? The divine spirit. We have the what? The demonic spirit. Only one spirit is a creator spirit, and that spirit is the spirit we are worshiping. That is the living God. Every other spirit falls under the category of created spirit. And in created spirit, we have the divine one. They are divine spirit because they have not lost their essence. Their heart is still angulated into the internal purposes of God. They still live to do the bidding of Abba, the will of God. That is why they are divine spirits. We have the demonic spirit that is living in perpetual rebellion against God. Their assignment is to frustrate the internal purposes of God. The assignment of demonic spirit is to bring pain, bring suffering, bring pain upon people. That is, nothing gives demonic spirit happiness than pain, than suffering. Because he knows that they gain ranking when people are in pain. They gain happiness when people are suffering. You cannot associate pain, suffering to divine spirit. You cannot. There is nothing in this world that will make God to feel happy when you're in pain. Anytime you're in pain is a sign that a demon is involved. A demonic spirit is involved. It is Satan that wants you to always be in pain, always cry, always not sure of the future. Is Satan. There is nothing good about Satan. I was discussing with my wife today. Nothing good. Nothing good about Satan. If Satan promised you anything good, it means that the return that Satan will get from that thing he promised you will be 1,000 times higher than whatever good things he gives you. If you are still with me, I say very loud amen. Amen. You see now, with all this broad classification of spirit I've talked about, nothing moves them than sacrifice, including God. God is moved by sacrifice. Satan is also moved by what? Sacrifice. Sacrifice is the language of spirit being. If a spirit being wants to move, what actually makes spirits to move is sacrifice. Sacrifice is the vehicle that carries spirit being. Sacrifice. If a spirit must be carried from a place to another place, what must bring him there is what? Sacrifice. Somebody chatted me early this morning. I don't know if she's there. She told me that her friend dreamt a dream, and in that dream, anytime the lady see her two teeth, the front two teeth removed, you know that front two teeth, somebody will die. You are not following me. The last time she dreamt that dream.
Welcome to the Jesus is King family. We are so truly glad you're here. This channel is a dedicated space for us to grow together in faith, find deep encouragement in the Word, and remind ourselves daily of the powerful truth of who sits on the throne. In a world that can often feel loud and uncertain, we want this to be your sanctuary, a place where the gospel is clear and the fellowship is genuine. Whether you've been walking with the Lord for many years, or you're just starting to ask questions and seek answers, please know that there is a seat at the table and a place for you right here. We believe that we aren't meant to walk this path alone, but to sharpen one another as we seek His kingdom first. We'll be sharing weekly insights, heart-to-heart prayers, and biblical truths. Help fuel your spirit for the journey ahead. So, take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's walk this journey of faith together to the glory of God. Tura.
It happens that somebody died, and whether her mother or thereabout. Now she has dreamt the second dream. She's asking, what should I do? No, she was not the one that talked to me directly. Somebody in this ministry. I don't know her, but I noticed that she's in our group. Because when I checked our common group here, she's in the group. I didn't save her number. She chatted me up, and I told her that this thing that is done, there are legalities. You don't just pray these things out. You need to understand the covenant. As I was talking, she was confirming it because she said that her friend told her that the family of her ancestors, they enter a covenant with a demonic spirit, and the demonic spirit kill people once in 2 years. What do you think we can use to halt the operation of Satan? A man did sacrifice many years, and the children are benefiting from it. Because nobody has been taught the ways of appeasing that demonic spirit. The sacrifice needed to stop the onslaught of that demonic spirit. It will take another person that understands the place of living sacrifice to stop the spirit. You see now, we have one ultimate sacrifice we can use to stop the matter of darkness. And that one ultimate sacrifice is the death of Jesus. You must know how to apportion that sacrifice to stop the matter of darkness. You must know how to use it. Now, I'm teaching you how to make the death of Jesus count in your case. The way the death of Jesus counts in your case is by you yourself presenting your body as what? Living sacrifice. That's how the death of Jesus can count in your case. I can tell you, Satan is afraid of a man that knows the way of sacrifice. If you understand what it means to live a sacrificial life, you're a threat to the kingdom of darkness. Satan can't stop you when you understand that. Now, the Bible is talking about living sacrifice. You know, I grew up in Port Harcourt. My teenage years, I spent it in Port Harcourt. I was giving birth in River State, a place called Okrika. and I grew in Port Harcourt. Precisely, Elelo, that's where I grew up. That's why you notice if you hear me talk, I speak like Port Harcourt boys. That's where I grew up. If you see Onitsha guy talks that grew up in Onitsha, you know he's Onitsha guy. If you see Lagos guy talk, you know he's what? Then if you see Port Harcourt people talk, you know that they are coming from Port Harcourt. So I noticed that where we usually go to sell market, the market buys every 4 days. There is a big shrine close to where we go and sell. And I now noticed that that demonic altar have fowls that you cannot touch. It has rams you cannot touch. Are you guys following me now? I want to explain the concept of living sacrifice. What will make the sacrifice of Jesus to be more active in your life is you bringing yourself to that mode of living what? Sacrifice. You know, normally sacrifice are usually dead when they are usually slaughtered. It's not so. But this one is not like those ones. This type of sacrifice heaven is talking about is the sacrifice that is living. Even though heaven put sword inside, he's bleeding, but he's still alive. He's bleeding. Blood is coming out, but that sacrifice is still what? It's still alive. So in that place where I grew up, I noticed that the ram, they used to call it Evule. That's what they used to call it there. Ikure people, they call it Evule. In fact, when we were small, we used to sing one song. Evule, 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 or Jakrize, or Wana. Oh, no, Ikure is Ikure language. So we noticed that those rams, they used to live big. Nobody touched them. That ram can come to your kitchen and eat the yam you prepare to eat in the afternoon. You'll be looking at ram eating yam and you can't stone it. Why will you stone it? It has been presented to an idol. That's why you can't stone it. But if you mistakenly stone the ram and the ram die, you will bury it like a living human being. Because the spirit that, are you guys still with me here now? The spirit that ram has been dedicated to will fight anyone that touch the ram. So even the fowls, you don't keep them. They live old and die a natural death. Why? Are you still with me here now?